The Saturday night football this evening comes from the Vitality. Bournemouth taking on Arsenal, and with Manchester City and Liverpool both in action on Super Sunday tomorrow, it means the Gunners have a chance to hit the top for the first time this season. And the Opta supercomputer has been pretty busy over the international break. It's still predicting, no great surprise here, that Man City will be champions, but their chances have fallen from 82.2% to 69.4%. In terms of the Gunners, still second favourites, but their chances have improved slightly. Let's pick the supercomputer brains of our esteemed panel this afternoon. Clinton, you've seen Arsenal in action plenty of times this season. From what you've seen in those opening 7 games, do you think this is the season the Gunners topple City?
It could well be the season, but I still think Man City will win it. But I think, as Hendo said earlier, they'll run it, it'll go right down to the wire. Listen, Arsenal were been fantastic last season, really unlucky. This season they've started off ever so well, and you can see, I've always said Liverpool are going to be in the mix as well.
We're going to talk about them in a short while, yeah.
Fit, but yeah, Arsenal, they're going to run Man City right down to the wire. They have to keep all their good players. There's talk of maybe Saka being injured and Havertz, but hopefully they'll be fit against Bournemouth. But no, the way they're playing at the moment, it's hard to rule out Arsenal at the moment, but I'm still going to go Man City to win the Premier League.
And in terms of that, that's what the Opta computer's been saying. This is what the bookies are saying, and you might remember it's around about a couple of weeks ago that they installed Arsenal as the new favourites for the Premier League title, and they remain ahead of Manchester City as far as the bookmakers are concerned.
Did they do that when Rodri picked up the injury? Because when Rodri was fit, it was Man City that were favourites. As soon as Rodri got injured...
But you can understand why.
Yeah, you can understand, because Man City are a better team with Rodri in there. So that's why you feel Arsenal will run them right down to the wire.
If this season is going to be different, Hendo, for Arsenal, what needs to be the difference this season? What differences have you seen so far from the Gunners from last season?
Listen, I think they've been pretty consistent over the 2 seasons. I think this season what I've probably seen a little bit more of is, the likes of Saka maybe being a little bit more defensive at times, but obviously still getting forward when he can. Probably not contributing to the goal tallies that he has done over seasons up to now. I know we're still early stages of the game, but I think, to be honest with you, it's about keeping this squad fit. It really is. Keeping players available. Havertz has been brilliant. Obviously, Saka's a key role in that side as well. Martinelli didn't start too great, but starting to pick up his form again. So I do feel that I've always said this, the centre-forward role is quite a key part for me and Arsenal. If Havertz, dips in form, who comes in? I know they play that false 9 at times, but I think that's the only thing that always makes me think that maybe they can't just quite get there. I feel like if they've got a proven striker, if you like, or they've got backup in that area that they can certainly turn to, I think that's the next stage. That's where I see Man City having the upper edge, is that they've got attacking flair in wide areas, 10s, but they've got Haaland as well, who can certainly score goals. So that'd be my only theory. I've said that over the last few seasons. That just seems to be that little piece of the jigsaw that's missing for me, and that's where I think that could have got him closer to Man City to even taking the title.
And the guys have touched on that doubt over Bukayo Saka because he limped off during the international break for England, but we do think he probably will be fit to take his place in the side against Bournemouth on the Saturday night football a little bit later. But just in terms of what he's done so far this season, he's got 7 assists in the opening 7 games of the season. The only 2 players in Premier League history to manage more after 7 games. No surprise here. Kevin De Bruyne in 1920 season ended up with 20 assists. Harry Kane with 8 in 2021. But the difference with Saka is no one has done it at this age, at the age of 23. If they are going to end this long wait for another Premier League title, is he at the centre of their hopes?
Yeah, 100%. I covered the game against Southampton. They obviously fell behind. They have been starting games really well. I think out of the last 5, they've scored inside 25 minutes and 4 of them. So, they have been starting games really well. It wasn't to be against Southampton.
Look at that. Yeah, the big 5 European leagues, most assists so far, Saka leading the way.
Yeah, 100%. But, you look at him and what he gives to the team. His assists and his goals. And that's what it was until the change, I mean, obviously Southampton scored the last time out, and all of a sudden everything changed. Arsenal made a couple of substitutions, and the whole game changed. Havertz went back up front, but you could tell then Saka was, he was on it, and you just felt as if I think he came to a couple of times before it. He came inside and got shots away. I mean, there's end product to his game. It might not be in terms of the best finisher. It's not quite at Salah's rate in terms of goals, but they play the game in similar ways. He's willing to run in behind, and that's one thing when you look at England. He maybe hasn't been doing as well as what he does it for Arsenal. Willing to go in behind, willing to run without the ball, and there is no doubt the guys have touched on it there. I don't see, in terms of Arsenal goal scoring, a problem. Manchester City only scored 5 more goals than them last season, but the key thing for me is Kai Havertz through the middle, because he brings so much. He tried it last time out with Gabriel Jesus and Sterling. It didn't work, and as I said, when he made those substitutions, Arsenal were a total different team. And Mikel Arteta's, he's had a little pop at Gabriel Jesus this week as well, and saying, he had that injury, but it's up to you now to get yourself fit and do that little bit extra, get yourself back in the team. And if he can, start to put pressure on Kai Havertz as that number 9 role, it bodes well for Arsenal.